Let's begin today's Vanguard news by moving away from the Koro collab for a bit and focus on the VSPO collab we also don't have, as they get new promo cards in the last promo pack in Japan for the year. Shiranui Selfish Engraver and Torrential Energy Research will be the reprints in this promo pack. I understand that Bushiroad is still milking the shit out of Shiranui and Shoujo dodgy players, while Benny players are scraping the bottom of the barrel just to be relevant. But why the hell is Torrential Energy Research being reprinted when it was recently released? Nobody is even playing Arcite, while Eva currently is waiting for her new form. Dancing Princess of Strong Leoria while on rear guard gets 5k power during the battle she boosted, while you have a grade 3 or higher Emirizoa Vanguard. And while on rear guard, she gets 2k power when she boosts a grade 3 or higher Emirizoa Vanguard. Then you can put herself into your soul at the end of that battle to give your Vanguard 5k power, and that unit's drive check cannot be reduced by your card effects if your opponent's bind zone has 10 or more cards, or you persona road that turn. Take note that this card is a pure Dragon Empire unit, meaning that you cannot run her in a VSPO deck. And is it just me, or does this card feel like what the Fated or Destined one gets for a 15k booster? And this might as well be a staple, as it provides the deck with more soul as well as making Emma not lose a drive check on restand. Mage of Red Light Rampart when placed on rear guard lets you soul charge one card if you have a grade 3 or higher Benny Yakumo Vanguard. And while on rear guard, you can pay 1 VSPO Soul Blast when she attacks a grade 3 or higher Vanguard to get 10k power. And just like Ioria, you cannot use this card in a VSPO deck as she's only a Dark States unit. And this card is very ironic that she requires a VSPO Soul Blast when this card can't even be used in that nation. So your only real cost are Ben's ride line or her previous persona rides. Secret Garden in Oscaris, while in the drop zone, lets you pay 1 Soul Blast when you play 1 normal order card from hand, while you have a grade 3 or higher Runa Shinomiya Vanguard to call herself to rear guard. While on rear guard, you can rest herself to give your Vanguard 5k power. And while on rear guard during your turn, she gets 5k power if you have a grade 3 or higher Runa Shinomiya Vanguard. She gets 10k power instead if you played 2 or more order cards this turn. And yes, this card can only be used in Lyrical Monasteria and cannot be used in VSPO. The fact this card gets 3 skills than the previous 2 goes to show how this nation gets special treatment like usual. Variance Ray Dragon, while in the drop zone, lets you bind itself if you have a grade 3 or higher Virgila Vanguard to prevent one of your Ozoa rear guards from being chosen by your opponent's card effects, and it gets 5k power and shields until the end of your opponent's next turn. And while on the Guardian Circle, it gets 5k shields if you have a Virgila Vanguard. I'd never thought we'd ever see Virgila of all things get a promo card, yet here we are. Protecting the deck's strongest rear guard as well as being a 10k shield grade 2 unit isn't half bad, but it just might be me, but the artwork feels a bit out of place for the deck. Like this card seems too detailed compared to the rest of its supports. Open O Forbidden Evil Eye is a normal order card that can only be played by paying 3 energy if you have a Demon Stealth Dragon Shiranui or Boro Crest to call up to 1 unit card that isn't a sentinel from your drop zone. And when this card is discarded for the cost of striding, reduce the cost of either your Vanguard or Heart card's ability by 1 counter blast. So not only do Chronojut and Messiah players feel obsolete due to this card using energy instead of counter blast, but Messiah in particular gets cucked, as this card is just a better version of Prelude of Genesis, as you can revive any unit. So Bushiroad took 1 step forward in fixing the meta by restricting Furai, but took 3 steps back by giving them away to revive their standing rear guards using a resource they barely even use. Shiranui players can't stop winning, damn it. Finally, Journey to Reach the Dragon is a normal order card that can only be played by paying 3 energy if you have 5 or more grade 1 cards in your drop zone and have a Dragheart Luard crest to give yourself an ability that gives all your units placed from your deck 5k power. And when this card is discarded for the cost of striding, reduce the cost of either your Vanguard or Heart card's ability by 1 counter blast. Again, with Chronojut and Messiah players feeling obsolete, as paying with energy makes this card better than their previous normal order support. Guess that's why they're the only ones getting new G units to compensate. While this order card can't really do anything on your grade 3 ride turn going first, and the discard stride cost will rarely be used outside of the first stride going second, this is one of the most powerful stride deck order support to date. This card basically turns your first stride turn feeling like your second stride turn. Imagine calling 2 Semius with Dragheart's Strider skill, then those cards called out more units from your deck before even using Drag Driver Luard during the battle phase, and that's not accounting for more Fessor on later turns. This card can potentially bring back Teeth Fallout in the deck, and expect Obligated Dragon to suddenly jump up in price. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments how 2024 started and ended with Luard and Shiranui being the meta.